everybody, it's Cinnamon Cooney, your Art Sherpa, and today I'm so excited to share with you this cute and adorable ostrich painting. So I'm going to show you step by step how you create this for yourself at home, this cutie patootie, this boopable, nosable cutie pie. On the mic is my husband, John.
Hey, guys.
He has been here with me while we were recording this, and I'm super excited. You can tell I'm really excited. I really enjoyed this painting. This is one of those paintings that it was super fun for me to do, so I'm a little bit energized into that, and I can't wait to share it with you.
Yeah.
If you check the description,
I said, yeah.
Yeah. If you check the description down below, you will see a link to the traceable, timestamps for the video, the colors that we use, the brushes that we use, all that information, link to my website, groups, everything that you need down there hidden in that more button. You got to hit more and it opens it up. I like to hide the information down there. So I like to also say that everything that you see in this show is available for sale in my art store, not the painting itself, the brushes and the paint and the tools. So if you need anything, that's open and ready for you as a convenience, which I think is pretty cool. And other than that, there's really nothing to do but say, get your paint, get your brushes, come back. I'm going to show you how to paint this. This is so much fun. So for today's class, I have an 8x8 canvas, and on my palette, I have these following colors: Mars Black, Burnt Sienna, Yellow Ochre, Cad Yellow Medium, Cad Red Medium, Quinacridone Magenta, Ultramarine Blue, Phthalo Blue, and Phthalo Green. And in the center, I have Titanium White. So let's throw up step one.
There you go.
Step one. Thank you, John, for step one.
Welcome for step one.
Step one is fun. I'm going to use my 3/4 inch angle brush because I'm going to just paint the underneath as a turquoise. I'm going to start with just a turquoise. So this is just a blue-green, a turquoise color. So phthalo blue, phthalo green, 1-to-1 to create a turquoise. So this is a little more than phthalo blue is on its own. I'm just working it in. As you do, I grabbed a drop of water. And I'm just working this paint into the canvas. You'll notice I'm not really even worried about brush direction or anything. That's because we have a couple layers of this turquoise background to do. But we need the dark layer first. The darkness must come down first. And then we shall put the light. I don't know why I'm telling a spooky story about a painting. The darkness first. But you got to have a little bit of fun when you're doing this. You know, you just got to have a little bit of fun in life, man. You gotta have happiness in your life if you can. Do things that make life a little bit better, a little bit more pleasant, a little bit happier. Oh my goodness, that's a gorgeous turquoise to start with. I love it. It's also John's least favorite color for me to do painting in because it's the one the cameras have the hardest time seeing. All right, I'm rinsing my brush out and I'm going to dry it off and put it to the side. Then I'm going to draw everything on my canvas thoroughly. And I want it dry and cool before I begin. Now, if you're painting along for the premiere or the replay, what you do at home is while you dry, you put me on pause. And then when your canvas is dry, you hit play, and then we'll keep painting together. So our drying times will always be the same. All right. I'm going to dry it and come back. We're going to paint more together. So for this stage, I'm going to sketch this in, but this is where you'd use the traceable if you don't want to freehand draw this. But sometimes we like to freehand draw things with our community. So I'm going to freehand this. If that doesn't look fun, traceable, again, in the description down below, you just go to the website, download it, transfer it onto the canvas with one of the transfer methods, and I have a video for that too. So to kind of capture this, I'm going to first kind of sketch and scale. I've got a chalk pencil. This is a Stabilo Carb Othello pencil. You could use the Dritz chalk tool. You can use anything that'll like leave you a little mark. And I'm going to make little sketches through here in the shape of what this is going to be. Might switch chalk to see that it's coming down on here. There we go. Sometimes what happens is that the chalk pencils kind of burnish. And I'm just trying to capture scale and shape. Just trying to capture scale and shape. I generally just look at the overall kind of shape of an object. I'm sketching out the little jowls of the ostrich right now, and then I'm going down into the neck. Once I have those, I can kind of think about the eyes, and the eyes are quite big. And for the purposes of this, very, very big. And what's wonderful is there's this kind of like double bump. The double bump of the little brows, which kind of gives him tude. I love the tude. There's a bit of a lid on the eye that I definitely want to sketch in as well. Now, the other thing that's great is he's so fluffy, right? That when we go to put him in, a lot of this will be forgiven out. Now, the trick is if you don't want your chalk to be stuck on your canvas, like you want it at a place where you can get rid of it with just a damp brush, the surface must be completely dry and completely cool. If it's still warm and you sketch into it, that paint will be soft and the sketch lines will show in your paint. You won't be able to remove those. So you want to make sure that your canvas is completely cool. Then right here, kind of above and between the eyes, like it's higher in the face than you might think. I'm going to do a little, this is the little button, and then I kind of shape it down into the little point. And we have a little journey down here into the little side of the mouth. They have an interesting little beak, these guys. This isn't the first time I've done an ostrich. I did one in watercolor once that was really popular. What I call really popular is a lot of people do the painting, not like gets a gazillion views. Sometimes those are popular too, but I more look like, are people doing the painting or are they just watching the video? All right, so once we have that basic shape sketched in, I'm kind of just trying to make sure I've got good symmetry. And again, fluffy, so there's some generalization here. One of the things that happens when I'm teaching online is I go quite quickly, but in my own like personal life, I would absolutely take like more time. Making sure I have a good sense of where everything is. Okay. I'm going to put my chalk pencil away. When we come back, I'm going to show you what we do next. So I'm going to want to come through with my turquoise. And this is a good chance for me to also check all my lines and make sure I'm really, really happy with them. Like sometimes I will go through and kind of be like, no. Subtle changes before you come in. I'm going to use my 3/4 inch angle brush and I'm going to make some turquoise again, which is my phthalo blue and my phthalo green together. But this time I'm going to add some titanium white. And I'm going to very loosely, this isn't dissimilar to what we did for our funny guy, if you're doing the challenge with me, kind of a similar broken up background. It's going to break up this little background. I let some of the dark green show through. Some of the dark turquoise will show through. Just loosely painted. Very dry brushed. Lots of dark turquoise pops. Pops of dark turquoise. So this will just give a nice little background. I'm just multi-directional with my brush. You can come right up or below even my ostrich lines if I feel like below the ostrich lines, because you have lines for your ostrich. But this gives you kind of a very expressive background that you can have. And it's just a little more in-depth than just a solid background, which can be a little bit boring sometimes. So, you know, sometimes it can be exciting like a black canvas with a big focal animal on it. But sometimes you want to have something multi-dimensional like this. Now I'm going to go ahead and dry it thoroughly. When we come back, I'll show you what we do next. So now I'm going to want to rough in some of my ostrich. I'm going to take my burnt sienna and a number 6 round sepia brush. This is a Raphael sepia round. And I'm going to come in and paint we're going to do kind of an underpainting. I'm going to paint brown in the little line of the eyes. Just a little bit of brown to start. What's nice too is like once you do this, then you can start to see how you need to match up the eyes as well. The solid color helps you see it better. I love doing ostriches. Well, I like doing birds in general because they have so much tude. I think that's what it is. I enjoy their little sassy tude.
Yeah, they got a lot of stuff going on up there.
They're a little spicy.
They're thinking on things.
Yeah. Now I'm going to take my black and I'm going to thin it with a little bit of water just so that it has good flow. And come here and line the eye. Then I'm going to want to do a very similar thing to this little beak here. Making the beak, making the beak.
Mm-hmm.
Super fun. This has been a super fun August, I have to say. All right, got the little beak in.
I've been liking it.
Maybe fix that line a little bit because it got a little big. Okay, I'm going to take a little bit of my burnt sienna and my Mars black and a little titanium white. Make kind of a warm brown gray. Paint in the beak with the warm brown gray. That's going to be fun. I'm just painting it in with my round brush. This stage is almost like coloring. It has a bit of that vibe to it.
Yeah, I can see that, yeah.
There we go. A little bit of beacon. That's looking pretty good. I'm going to rinse that out. And then I'm going to grab, this is my 1/2 inch angle. I just want a slightly smaller brush so I can have a little more control over what's in here. I'm going to take a little bit of my yellow ochre and burnt sienna and a little titanium white together and paint the whole rest of him in. Now there's a couple things I'll be careful about on these outer edges because we're going to want to make him fluffy. So I'm not going to paint in the outer edges quite at first. Because he's fluffy.
Yep, just had that fluff.
way off the canvas with this. So I'm leaving a little space between my outer line and my yellow ochre line. Now, one of the things that I get asked the question is, how do you pick the colors? And I would say generally that that's a very complex kind of question, because there's all kinds of options in color theory of what you could do. But how I picked this one is that I picked orange, which is kind of on the contrast of turquoise. So I'm creating a lot of drama by getting into these yellows and oranges and then adding little pops of unexpected harmonies like, well, not harmonies, but pops of color like purple. It's okay if a little turquoise shows through on your bird. We're painting expressively today. I have a series of videos on color theory, though.
You do?
Yes, I do. You were there for all of them.
I was?
You were. I never do a video without you.
I may have been
sometimes. Sometimes I do a video with, mostly I do a video with John. And that kind of goes over all the different types of color schemes there are to help you pick the type of color scheme you want to do. And it'll explain triadic and harmonies and all the terms about color theory and give you some ideas and show you how to use a color wheel so you can pick colors. But just in a very simplistic explanation, don't want to spill into my paint again. This is my blue-green, that's my turquoise, and my red-orange is the complementary color to that. Whenever you work in complementaries, you create a lot of drama. So I just can use the wheel to make these decisions. And then back here, if I want to do more complex, like a triadic color scheme, and I come over here to, say, the blue-green, then yellow-orange, and a little bit of red-violet come in there. So those are ways that I can make decisions about how to make an exciting painting. I'm always making those decisions. I'm always making those little choices of how to make, an exciting painting. It must be exciting. I want drama in my painting. Drama.
It must be exciting painting.
Drama in my painting. Not in my life. I don't want drama in my life, but I definitely want drama in my art. So I'm going to take a little bit of this and I'm going to maybe a little more to the yellow ochre. And I'm going to go ahead and just on the toe of this brush start to flick out the beginnings of the Let's get some more on here. Sometimes what you see me doing is wipe out. Wipe out. Wipe out.
Oh, this is a cool looking bird.
Going to be a very cool looking bird. Come underneath here. Just kind of thick, thick, thick. We have other little lines coming, so this is just the beginning. Doesn't need to be perfect. We're just starting to show the beginnings of the fluff. Come through with a filbert grainer and all kinds of other brushes. It's about to get real.
Yeah.
But we can still set up the later part of the painting with an underpainting. Just a little bit. Already starting to fluff the ostrich, and I just kind of come and wipe my brush off on the painting, which gives it just that deeper, richer. Gives
it the mores.
Mm-hmm. looking pretty good. Just want to make sure that my upper head is nice and uniformly fluffy. I'm loving it. I'm loving it. All right, we're going to want to dry everything thoroughly, and when we come back, I'll show you what we do next. Now I'm going to want to do another layer on here and kind of go through all of this and get some directional kind of fluff going. So I'm going to take my number 8 Raphael d'Artagnan D brush. You could use a Deerfoot stippler. You could use a hog round. You just want something that's going to give you kind of a fluffy thing. If you have a filbert grainer, you could do the whole thing with a filbert grainer. I'm going to get this wet, take off the extra water. I'm going to bring a little bit more white over to my yellow ochre. And wiping it out. I'm going to load up. Actually, I'll start at the neck and I'll just start to create that next layer of the fluff. Just flicking outward. You can see it very quickly starts to bring in some of that personality. Ostriches are made of personality and an attitude.
And I don't understand why people think that they should ride them.
Oh, I don't think they should. That doesn't seem like a good idea at all.
No, but I mean, like somebody just looked at them and said, you know what?
I can get on that.
I think that's how I'm going to get around.
Well, they are fast.
And clearly cooperative creatures. So they were...
Definitely an animal you want to have a lot of respect for, though, I would think. Making sure I got nice cheeks. Comes in really quick, doesn't it?
Really does. Just layer on layer.
Layer on layer. Just a little yellow ochre. I haven't really rinsed my brush. I'm just creating that next dimensional layer so that when we come through with our other fun colors, our playful colors, we have this as a nice anchor. Be putting those eyes back in soon. You know how we do. We're going to do great eyes. Our eyes are going to be so gorgeous. Super fun. All right, let's dry everything, and when you come back, I'm going to show you what you do next. All right, so I'm going to continue on with my number 6 Raphael Sepia brush, and I'm going to start working on my eyes. I'm going to come over here to my little background color, and I'm going to put on my vision enhancers. Ah, now I can see what I'm doing. Always helpful. Come here and just make sure that we've got a nice little lid coming down. I may need to add some water to improve the flow. And we're going to do the same on the other side. Rinse out a little bit. And I think I'm going to size down on my brush so I have a lot more detail that I can work out. I'm going to take my number 1 Raphael Precision. It's just a detail brush. I'm going to go ahead and get a little of my black on here. And then I'm going to line inside this little lid. A little darker lidding here. And do the same on this side. Grab a little more of my black and maybe a drop of water. You can use water or medium to improve the flow of your paint. Begin to add the pupil right here. Those of you who have the traceable already have all this positioned in. For me, I have no idea if this painting is going to work out at this stage. I just assume it will. That's how I get through, is I just assume it will be okay. Do my best to not cross the eyes of my ostrich, but you know what? If they get crossed, sometimes that's good for character. So I don't get too upset about it. I'm going to go ahead and take a little bit of my brown into my black. Little brown into the black. And just stroke that down to the outer edge. Now I'm going to mix my cad red and my cad yellow together. And a little bit of my burnt sienna. I'll begin to paint the light in on this eye. There we go, just curving that around. Just comes in real fast. Looking really good. Rinse out. So a little burnt sienna and a little black. Kind of make this a little bit less. And this starts to come out a little bit. Just trying to start to think about that. I'm going to get a little bit of my white on here. Just add a little highlight on the lower lid of my eye. just a little bit. Grab a little bit of our red and yellow again. Makes a very bright yellow-orange. Still using my brush here, and I'm going to come underneath here. And a little bit of glowy light there. Going to take a little bit of my ultramarine blue and my white. Begin to add the reflection to the eye. This is fun, isn't it? Are you loving this, John?
I do. I like how fluffy.
It's so fluffy.
The fluff just builds.
The fluff just builds. Now I'm going to try to see if I can't get a nice lash with my filbert grainer here. I'm going to get it wet. You could also just do this one lash at a time if you felt like. Go ahead and nope, I don't like that. Look at me changing my mind. One lash at a time it is. But notice how because I had it dry enough, I could come back and erase it, change my mind.
Oh, that's always good to know.
Yeah. Grab a little more white. I like to put a little hot spot of white into the eye reflection. And then maybe a couple little there we go. We'll lash later on. But so sometimes you'll have an idea and you'll be like, that'll work. And I'd have to work on the technique and see like how I wanted to get the, like, do I start from the back and come forward? It's just one of those things where I had an idea, but I haven't really tested it yet. And so sometimes you do things and you're like, oh, I don't love it. I don't love it at all. But that's okay. I'm going to dry everything. When we come back, I'm going to show you what we do next. So now I'm going to take a little bit of my ultramarine blue and my quin magenta. I'm going to make this nice little purple. It's a nice purple. And I'm going to come under the little beak here. Sort of shade this with a little bit of this first purple. And I'll fan this up. I'm just thinking about it. Let's grab a little bit of white over to it. I'm going to just very carefully kind of fan and dry brush down. I'm not removing all of the original color I painted in. It's still under here, peeking through. Just adding the purple. It's the beginning spot of the highlights, which I really like. And again, it's a bit of a dry brush, which is allowing some of the canvas to show through, and I'm not painting out all my dark lining that I put in initially. And I get a little water. I don't want to get too much, so because then it can mess with my dry brushing. some light Quinn and ultramarine blue together again and just keep dark shadow under the little bowl. A little bit darker coming down. Grab a little more magenta into the mix, and I'm going to come underneath here. Very carefully brush this in. So this bottom side is a little more magenta. I'm going to go ahead and get a little white into that. And a little highlight here. And a little bit coming down. And dry brush a little bit up here. Get a little more of my white involved. Like I went and told the white on it. I'm going to go get the white involved in this disagreement. I actually get along with my paintings pretty well. But sometimes they mess with me and I have to show them what for. But not today. Today we're getting along. A little bit of highlight right there. That's fun. Okay. We're going to want to dry everything and I'll show you what we do when we come back. So now I'm going to take my D brush again. This is the Raphael number 8 D brush. Again, you could use the Deerfoot Stippler, grainer, hog bristle brush, just anything that gives you a good result. And I'm going to take a little bit of my ultramarine blue and my quinacridone magenta. I'm going to very lightly come underneath this little chin here. Very lightly. This is a dry brush. I'm lightly brushing this. Just dry brushing this little vestige of purple down. Goes right over the yellow. Super exciting color-wise. It's so pretty. Sometimes I get really excited. Just a little bit up here. I just wiped it out. I'm going to get a little more white over into this mix. Brush a highlight of purple there. Just a little bit around the little cheeks here. A little bit around the little cheeks here. So there's just a little bits of purple going on as well. Okay. Well, I think I just cleaning up a little bit of white I might have smeared. Okay. So I'm going to want to dry everything, and when we come back, I'll show you what we do next. So now I'm going to take a little bit of, this is just water, and I'm going to squeeze just a small amount over by my black. I'm going to take my detail brush, and I'm going to work that water into the black. I'm making kind of a fluid acrylic here. I could also just have fluid acrylic in black. And I often carry some, but I didn't want you guys to have to buy 2 kinds of fluid acrylic. I'm going to wipe my brush off on my towel so that it's not thick with paint. I'm going to come here and I will turn my canvas to an angle so that I have a nice just a few little lashes. Few little lashes, my friends.
Lashes.
Just a few little lashes. Look, and I'm going to be real honest. You could lash it up a lot if you felt like it. You could lash and lash and lash. Make sure the black of my eye is very black. Sometimes I got to check that, make sure it's black, 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 black. All right. Now this next part, well, let's call the lashes their own step because they are their own step. Now I'm going to take my 3/8 Princeton Select filbert grainer, and if you don't have a grainer, again, you could use a Deerfoot stippler. You could use like a little hog bristle fan, just something that's going to give you nice hair marks is what you're doing. I'm going to get my brush a little bit wet. I'm going to come over here into my cad red and my yellow. Make a nice little yellow orange here. And if I need to, I might get my spray bottle and just spray a smidge of water. Like you do, just to improve the flow.
Just helps a little bit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it helps the brush do what it does. I wipe off sometimes with a towel and I load up from here, and I'm going to come right here. I'm going to begin to floof out the different floofs. I might get a little white involved in some of it. This is going to be just a fun little fluff painting. Just continue to like tile it down. A little more orange here and just short little hairs around the beak. Come up over here. I'm going to get more yellow involved. And get a little white. What do you think, John? Cute?
I like it.
Cute, cute, cute. Cute.
It's like a 80s, like, got that lighting going on.
Yeah, I do. This is definitely more of an 80s color palette.
Right.
Kind of change brush direction as I come over here.
Yep.
A little more water in the mix. A drop or two. And get a little white involved. It's a very light color. Floofy necks.
That is true.
Take some of that light color and floof even more around here. This is going to be one of those ones I think everyone at home is going to just have a lot of fun with.
Yeah, for sure.
So by adding the purple and going yellow-orange instead of red-orange, we took it into triadic. But I am going to add some red oranges in here for some pops of color and some drama.
Right.
I blend in a little bit of my light feathers here. Just enough so that it doesn't change the value that's there, but it just shows that these colors are integrated. There we go, doing pretty well. Okay, we're going to want to dry everything and come back. I'll show you what you do next. I'm going to take my number 6 round again, my Raphael, and I'm going to get back into my purple that we mixed from earlier and add some white into it. And I'm going to just brush in a little purple on the lid. Okay, let that have a little dry. That's very graphic and gorgeous. Mm-hmm. Now I'm going to take a little bit of my yellow over towards my red, and we're going to make an orange, but it's going to be a brighter orange. See how this is just a very red orange? I'm going to go ahead and add a drop of water. Maybe a little more yellow. See, I'm pressing out the brush to get all the pigment out. And come right here, and actually I'm going to come to the outside edge. I have to layer it outside to in. So ostriches have like these little dark kind of guard feathers. So that's what the orange is kind of representing, is the darker guard feathers. Bring a little bit over the eye. A few here and there. Nice long guard hairs. I went online and looked at so many ostriches that had been painted just to make sure our ostrich was our ostrich. So this is a really great, unusual ostrich. I'll come here and get a little like darker cad red into that, and a cad red in the center. He's so cute. So I'm getting into more of my cad red. And I'm going to add a little of these darker little orange hairs to this little center area, because this is a little more in shadow, right? Get back into the orange a little bit. A little bit of that orange dusting there. And off the little cheeks over here. Cute, 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 cute. I can't wait to see what the patrons name this cutie patootie. This is a very fun little guy. I'm going to rinse out. Now,
Very nice little guy.
I'm going to do a weird trick. I'm going to take a little bit of my fluid acrylic titanium white, because I'm getting a little tired thinning my paint with water. You could just thin your white paint with water and then add some yellow into it. But I'm just going to use the fluid acrylic and bring some yellow over here. I'm going to add some of this light, light yellow. Dusting some through here and bringing it to these outer edges. And I'm blending it in there. Oh, look at him. Do you love, love, love?
Yeah.
Some light little guard hairs right there. In that center. This is my yellow and my white. And a little bit of a highlight coming through here. Oh, it's cute. So cute. So cute.
It's very cute.
Sometimes I do things that just, during the painting, give me great joy. And also we're at that stage of the daily painting challenge where I'm finding my stride.
Yeah. For sure. Yeah. Definitely finding your stride.
And like the way this white and yellow is just glowing on the canvas gives me great, great joy. Little light right there in the corner of the eye. Just a little light right in the corner of the eye. A little bit up here. Just talking about a few guard hairs. Ah! I'm okay. I'm just excited. Now we are the ostrich of ostriches. I have to, like, if you're an ostrich person and you love ostriches or you keep ostriches, I want to know what you guys think of this painting. Did I capture the energy of these wonderful creatures? Ooh, super happy. Very, very, very happy. Now rinse out, dry everything, and when we come back, I'll show you what we do next. All right, so I'm going to add a little purple back. I'm going to take my fluid white acrylic over to my quinacridone and ultramarine blue. Get back into my nice light purple. And I'm going to just come through here and make sure I've brushed enough purple in. So purple and the orange are kind of like, they're at opposing areas of each other. So they're going to almost like create a gray section. Not like physically gray because I'm not mixing the colors together, but because they're next to each other. There we go. A few places, just kiss a few little bits of the purple. can always go back and grab any color. Like this orange. And blend in those little feathers there.
It's turned out super cool.
Isn't it? I think we're getting there. Yeah, I think we're getting there. I like where we're at. I think it's just too easy to play with though, John.
I know.
Adding a little orange under there just to
feather it up.
Feather it up. All right. This is fun. This was so fun. So fun. So fun. Let's sign this. I'm actually super excited to sign this in the corner. One, because I feel like it'll go really well with the painting. And two, because we did such a good job doing it. I really like this design. You know, when you have to design as many original pieces as I do in a given like month, like 31 new things, it's really fun when you hit one that just like feels like it's nailed.
Yeah, get that.
So just like paintings where like every once in a while you'll have a painting that you just don't like, every once in a while you'll have a painting that you just love.
Right.
You love it so much. And this is one that I just love. There we go. And come back, I'm going to tell you what we do next. That was so much fun. That came out so great. I'm so happy with this. This is definitely what I had in my head. I hope that yours are coming out just like amazing. One, thank you for doing this painting with me. I so appreciate y'all's time and energy, your time coming to the live premieres, your time watching these videos, sometimes, you know, twice, 3 times, 4 times to do the painting. And I realize that's a lot of me to listen to. So I want to thank you very, very much. And thank you for trusting me with your time and your creativity. I consider that an incredible privilege, and I will always strive to live up to that trust. Wow, I love it. I want to see yours. So hashtag the Art Sherpa, hashtag Acrylic August. You can throw this up on Instagram. You can hit it over me on Facebook. If you'd like to have, I have a group on Facebook called Acrylic April, and it is where the challenges are normally put. So you could come by and share those there. It's a closed group. It's an approved post group. So you don't have to worry about like conflict or any crazy spam or anything in that group. It's like a complete break from everything else that's happening on Facebook. So it's a nice place to go. The Art Sherpa Official is my main group, and you can also share the paintings that you're doing with the tutorials there. So that's 2 great places to share it, and I can't wait to see it. I hope that you had fun. That's really at the bottom of it. I hope you had fun and you found this playful, and I hope I answered some questions about why we might pick these colors, and you can kind of see why they're an engaging color scheme. So with that in mind, I want you to be good to yourself, be good to each other, and I will see you at an easel real soon. Bye-bye.